This year has been unprecedented, strange, stressful, overwhelming. Racer Nation has experienced lockdown, the adoption of mask wearing, transition to remote instruction, a partial transition from remote instruction, a completely changed college experience for students, faculty, and staff, social and political unrest, and illness, and the loss of loved ones. This global pandemic has created or amplified tremendous problems within our social fabric that we will likely be dealing with for some time to come. But that isn't all that's come from this global pandemic. We now have a better understanding how interrelated our lives are and how examples of positivity in our community can have ripple effects far beyond their intended outcomes. We, the Murray State Fellows of the Bluegrass Academic Leadership Academy, would like to share examples of resilient racers. These are employees, students, alumni, or affiliated groups who have exhibited racer spirit and who have exemplified the values represented in the Murray State Shield: hope, endeavor, and achievement. These racers have been nominated for their contributions and are deserving of this recognition. They are Phoebe Pullman, a Murray State student and community service chair on the Honor Student Council, designed an outreach program called Pen Pal Local. Pen Pal Local is a no-cost letter writing exchange program between members of the Honor Student Council and elderly members of our community. With this project, Phoebe has engineered a fantastic way to help the local community in this time of relative isolation for our senior citizens. Professor Carolyn Tinsley, a Murray State faculty member who volunteered to travel where she was most needed in the early stages of the pandemic. She was selected to be placed in a COVID ICU in North Dakota. She provided exemplary care to vulnerable groups of people and gave them hope by nursing them back to health and helping relieve their suffering. She sacrificed time with her family and an enjoyable, carefree summer to work in difficult conditions, both physically and emotionally. The Kate Office, a group of MSU employees who worked all summer to get ready for this challenging semester. They problem-solved while greeting everyone with a smile and remaining amazingly patient. Shanna Burgess, a Murray State staff member who adapted and conducted her Rural Health Scholars Program online this year. What had been school tours and shadowing had to be converted to online learning with guest speakers, reading, online tours, and more. She worked hard to convert a month of in-person work into a month of creative online work that students would enjoy to participate in. The Hudson School of Agriculture has gone above and beyond with adjusting to social distancing and proper sanitization. Even during all of this, they are still doing a fantastic job of teaching their students and making sure it is an environment built for learning. Dr. Rudy Otway, a Murray State faculty member who is recognized for outstanding and creative service to others during the COVID-19 pandemic. He built and mobilized a wonderful team of people who use 3D printing technology to manufacture frames and produce face shields that supported those in need of personal protective equipment during COVID-19. This team, which included students, the community, and other MSU employees, produced and distributed over 3,000 face shields to support our local and regional communities. Springer Franklin Residential College Council built a community among their residents through safe, innovative, and fun events. They put on an event called Fast Friends, speed dating for friendships, where socially distanced and masked residents were able to meet other residents in the community. They also developed a digital pen pal program where residents were able to email other residents to get to know them. They have really been working hard to make certain students feel included and a part of a supportive community. Mary Scott Buck, a Murray State alumna who created a responsive Facebook group called the Callaway County Collective, in which she organized the exchange of food, clothing, personal protective equipment, furniture, disinfectants, hand sanitizer, and other necessities to the community. She organized the support of the community Blessing Boxes that provides non-perishable goods throughout the community and built a community garden this summer. Summer O leaders transitioned to a virtual summer orientation for incoming students for the first time in MSU history. As they worked through their own abrupt transition to virtual learning as students, they also began to work as one big team to meet the challenge and fulfill their responsibility to welcome incoming students. They hosted an event during move-in week to show how much fun could be had, even with a mask and social distancing. Their nominator, Michaela, said, quote, "If it wasn't for such a great group of people to work with, it would have been hard to provide a sense of comfort to the students and community around us. But and I mean everyone, was so willing to do everything we could to work together and make even a COVID time one of the best we could possibly have," end quote. Dr. Tracy Bird, a Murray State faculty member, and Kimberly Pidcock, lead instructor at the Fort Campbell Regional Campus, worked with the spring 2020 EMT candidates through the university's closure to complete their practical skills labs during summer 2020. 12 EMT candidates successfully passed a state practical exam and are awaiting the National Registry of EMT's written examination results. Essential Hudson School of Agriculture farm student workers continued to work at Murray State's farm laboratories throughout the closure of campus. These farms are living, working laboratories, and numerous plants and animals were dependent upon these essential student workers to be kept alive and continued to contribute to the research and educational goals of our agriculture programs. Hudson School of Agriculture Dean Tony Brannon said, quote, "If you Google resilient racers, photos of our Hudson School of Agriculture student workers should appear," end quote. Jessica Langston, a Murray State alumna who started working with Workforce Essentials, a private nonprofit organization, as a project coordinator for their National Dislocated Worker Grant in May of 2020. In this position, she assisted dislocated workers as they re-enter the workforce through temporary employment opportunities. She was uniquely prepared for this opportunity because she was also a dislocated worker due to the COVID crisis. On September 1st, 2020, she was offered a permanent position with Workforce Essentials Adult Education Program as a student coordinator. Dr. Miguel Gomez, a Murray State faculty member in middle school education, provided some much-needed support to future educators who watched the entire field forced into the unknown seemingly overnight. Dr. Gomez was an advocate for all of his students, whether they were in his classes or needed someone to talk to. His nominator said, quote, "He regularly provided support, reassurance, and kind words. In the spring semester, he has inspired me to be the best middle school educator I can be, and because of him, I didn't drop out of school," end quote. Racer Band, whose student section leaders spent time over the summer reaching out to band members to convey that the theme of the season would be the same as always: strive for safety first and music second. The entire safety plan and design was made in consultation with university leadership and health officials and designed by student leadership and directors. The intent was to maintain the spirit and tradition of Racer Band while doing whatever was possible to keep members safe. Racer Band has always made the MSU community proud, and they are to be commended for the effort and execution of not only marching and performing, but also following the Racer Restart health and safety guidelines. Dr. David Ferguson, a Murray State faculty member who has adapted to a new teaching environment by having class outside when possible to give students more hands-on experience, as well as trying to keep things somewhat normal during these uncertain times. He goes above and beyond to make sure students are safe as well as having hands-on experiences. Lee Clark College, a group of student residents and their residential college council who took strides to be a safe community, but who are also still engaging with residents. During these socially distant times, Clark is trying to make everyone feel involved and still have that sense of community within their residential college. Clark College has been resilient, optimistic, and creative when it comes to what can be done for each other. Please help us in recognizing the tremendous efforts put forth by these nominees, as they all exemplify our values and have taken action to better our community amidst adversity. We are driven. We are resilient. We are racers.